What's up? It's your boy Carcino, and yes, it's boxing finally. That's because you guys should be listening to the radio show on Rope-A-Dope Radio, on Blog Talk Radio. It's called the Rope-A-Dope Radio Show. That's the best you're going to get of me. Okay? So go to Blog Talk Radio, go to ropeadoperadio.com. That's when you don't just get just me, you get the best of Joe B, Chris Carlson, you got Dr. Uppercut on there. We have local people just call in because they want to communicate and talk about boxing. But let's go over the fights people are not talking about. Everybody's begging me for Thurman Porter, but that might not be the best fight of the night. We're going to do Joshua versus Breazeale first. Dominique Breazeale is another big guy. Looked like he used to play an offensive lineman in football and decided, well, I wasn't good enough to go to the NFL, so let me try to box. And we've seen a lot of these projects happen before, and they fail badly. The only successful project has been Deontay Wilder. And now Breazeale wants to prove that he is the goods and that he does have what it takes to get to the next level. I just don't believe him. As we saw from the Mansour fight, we saw that if you rush him or you put a lot of pressure on him, that he can be hurt, he can be dropped, and he's not equipped to taking punches. He's not used to it. Now, here's a guy that's in shape and basically can keep coming forward all night long. So now that you have that working against you, it puts you in a predicament of, where can I go with this guy? You know, so I really feel that this is a fight where Breazeale's going to have to be busy, and that's what he normally is. That's one thing about him. He's not a heavyweight that's slow as far as activity level. He's going to throw punches. And against an experienced fighter like Joshua, who has a great amateur background, he has a lot of amateur fights, people, it doesn't fare you very well because you're always in the red zone to be hurt. Translation, you're in the kill zone. You're in the kill box. You're seconds from getting hurt from a right hand cross from this guy. He throws a great 1-2 upstairs, and once that hits you, we're going to see where Breazeale's going to be. I haven't been knocked out in 4 rounds. If he lasts longer than that, I'm surprised. He might have a shot if his activity level is keeping Joshua at bay. But when you throw too many punches, you leave yourself available for counters. And when Joshua counter with that left hook right hand, it's going to be all she wrote for Breazeale. He's going to buckle. He's going to try to hold on. And it's not going to be in his benefit because Joshua's experienced enough to get these guys out of here. And then we got to see what Joshua's really made of when he fought some guys that's actually dedicated to fighting for the most of their career. And that brings us to the fight I think is going to be electric. And that is the George Groves-Martin Murray fight. I like George Groves. I mean, Martin Murray is these guys have been talking big trash. Big trash all for about 2 months. I've enjoyed their back and forth than any other fight that's going on. We just don't see it much because it's in the UK and it's overseas, but it is classic. Martin Murray was talking about George Groves like, hey, George Groves, this is a guy we only know for his losses. He's famous for losing. His losses to Carl Froch has made him a legend. So George Groves is like, okay, well, this is Martin Murray, the guy who quit after 2 days of work with Golovkin, training with Gennady Golovkin. In 2 days, he quit, packed his bags, and went home. That's all you got to tell about Martin Murray. Oh God! So Murray comes up with like 1,000 excuses. Oh well, you see, people didn't know I had a family emergency. People were sick. My dog died. He came up with like 50,000 excuses. I was overweight. He hit me in the ribs and hurt my ribs and sparred, and I think he broke it. So yeah, he was like, "Yep." And George Groves, "Yep, there you go. The excuses already." So in the weigh-in today, he came in a slight bit overweight, Martin Murray. So I really think he's fighting out of his weight class anyway. It's been time for him to move up. But he's still fighting at this weight class. He's too big. And, killing your body to try to make this weight. And he just fights. He's a good fighter. He just fights too mechanical, I think, for George Groves. Groves is a little bit slicker than he is. It's just that Groves' conditioning level has always failed him. He pushes too hard, or he tries to not push too much because he knows he might get tired late in the fight. But against Badu Jack, I think he showed his best. And I was like, this is the best George Groves has looked, because I felt he pulled that fight out. So I said, wow, he pulled this fight out. Even though Jack got to him early on, it's like he figured him out, and he couldn't do anything to turn it back to his side. But Groves didn't get the nod, and another bad decision right there, I thought. But I'm very interested to see how this fight plays out, because I think if Groves don't get caught early by Murray has a hard right hand. We all know that. But I think George Groves' slickness, his work ethic, is going to lead him to victory here. I think he's going to definitely take the fight by, I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say, a unanimous decision. So we got Breazeale getting knocked out in 4 by Joshua, and we got a unanimous decision for George Groves. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Wednesday nights, okay? 8 p.m. Central. You got 3 hours of boxing talk. And you can call in if you want to listen. Call in if you want to talk about boxing, experience boxing. Anything you want to talk about boxing, you can. Go to Blog Talk Radio and go to robidouradio.com. It's not that hard.